Good day to you, my friends. I'm Kenator, and oh boy do we have a lucky one today. The kind folks over at Far From Home, developers of Forever Skies, have very kindly allowed me to try this early preview build to present to you all. If you've never heard about this game before, think Subnautica or Raft in the Sky. I have two other videos on this which I'll link in the description and the top right for you to learn more, but right now we're going to run through and go over some of the limited features we have access to. So let's dive into your first look at some brand new gameplay. Dropping right into a bad situation, the game kicks off having dropped down to our planet in some sort of landing pod which has crashed into one of the buildings. We have alerts ringing and there's a datapad on the table. It's a small mission briefing. We can immediately notice on the left stats for stamina, health, hunger and thirst, and the hexagons on the left are your immunity, but more on that a bit later. This UI looks much improved from the previous footage we've seen too. Already all are below half, that's not good. We need to find food and water at a minimum, so let's blow this hatch and get our bearings. Luckily for us, we're not in the toxic fog, but we're still pretty close to it, thanks to these tall buildings mankind have made in their last effort to avoid the toxicity hundreds of years ago. We very quickly find our first signs of at least recent life. Previous teams sent down here, but this locked door is blocking our path. Let's check this nearly collapsed part instead. A scanner! This will be useful to gather data. Let's grab it and see what we can find out while we look for more resources. Now on the hotbar we can scan the computer, but it's no good. We need power, just like the door. Checking the sparking panel reveals it needs a solid state battery. This one is nothing but scrap right now, but we can put that scrap to good use later, so let's grab it. Looking around more, there seems to be another floor, and now with scanner in hand, we can see different highlighted scannable objects. Finding some glass, dirty water, and metal. Debris can also be found around the different areas. The floor, the shelves, in old lockers, and there are also data pads to be found like this one that can give you a glimpse into the story, a specific area, and sometimes new blueprints. This one is telling us that the people are getting sick and their equipment is breaking, and that there might be a spare battery in the beacon tower. Great, now we can get that door open. It's quite evident that this world is harsh and unforgiving, so grab everything you can. We do find some water finally, but we have no bottle. We can risk drinking this dirty water by holding the key instead of pressing it. Ooh, not good, this is killing me. There must be another way. Let's continue searching. Oh, this can't be good. A dead body. He's been dead for months now. Thankfully, this previous team started growing their own food, so we won't starve just yet. A quick scan shows us its name, and this has a risk of something called sun ire. But we don't have a choice, we're gonna need to eat. Yikes, that didn't take long. Now we're infected with some unknown disease. Let's pick up what's left and check the box at the back there. A fresh battery, and this gives us a way forwards. Let's not forget to check the computer too. With the new battery in, we get an ominous message left to us by the previous team on the laptop. Someone completely went nuts. They stole the virus sample we need, as well as an airship. Through the door there's more debris to grab, and it looks like we've found another dead scientist. This must have been where they were keeping the sick scientist who went mad. Just look at all these drawings. They must have been down here for quite some time. There's also another pad here that hints at something called the extractor. And thank goodness, a real drink too. This one should be safe to drink, and it buys us just a little bit more time as we're led further up to another level. And straight into a bottle. At least now we can save some of that dirty water for later. Oh, it seems like that crazy scientist must have come back. There's an airship here. Oof, The Sunire virus seems to be having a strange effect and hurting us when we look at the sun. That's quite the disadvantage, and hopefully there's a remedy nearby. But let's get out the sun. It looks like this place was used for medical treatment. There's some fruit and a microscope to scan. Sadly, they are rotten and broken, much like everything else. Looking around, there's more equipment to scan, more clean water, and a data pad. They have found a fruit that helps against Sunire. Fantastic news! They grow it somewhere higher up. Let's finish up here and take that ladder to take a look. Damn, we need to stay out the sun. Seems like this guy didn't have much luck either. But we have found some plants. Let's check them for the cure for the ailment. It's lobster chili. Greatly nutritious, but causes dehydration. This must be what we need. Let's try it out and drink some of that clean water.
The virus was neutralized.
Phew, looks like we're okay now. Let's take a few more, because they might come in handy. At least now we can look around better. There's a device here called the Fabricator, as well as another data pad. So the guy didn't come back, and this is a new airship they were scrapping together parts for. And it looks like it's nearly done too. It's going to be up to us to complete that list. So let's install the Fabricator. It's pretty bare bones in here, but plenty of space to get started at least. And it even comes pre-programmed with a few categories of devices to make. Water purification will definitely save our life. A cooker and an insect catcher will keep us fed. A bed to sleep on could even maybe help us decreasing stamina. We have the deck extractor and the build tool, but no way to make them just yet. And finally, material refinement. All of those bits we've been picking up, looks like we can get some usable materials out of them. Let's put it to work. Let's see if that made a difference. Yep, just enough to build that extractor. It's a bit longer to build this one.
Printing completed.
And oh boy, it's not small either. Let's get this placed on some of the deck outside and see if we can power it up. Nice! Once again, interactables are highlighted so we can get resources ready to use straight out of all of these components. Now that's great recycling tech. We can load up on all these resources to maybe build some more. Let's get that purifier and get that dirty water cleaned.
Printing completed.
We can also get another bottle while we wait to help collect a bit more dirty water. It seems that each small dish has 3 lots of water and the bottles max out at 5. We've also built all we can for now, so let's check out those 2 rooms we opened up by recycling the parts around us. Nice, another drink and even more drawings. Just what is the meaning of all these drawings? Oh hey, there's a poster on the wall too. We could use that to decorate the airship. It's not quite Picasso, but it definitely looks cool. The other room houses a free cooker, another data pad, and what I assume is the engine we must scan. Now let's see if we can try that cooker. Looks like we need food and water to cook something. Well, let's give it a go and see what happens.
One hour later.
Ah, neat. Looks like the food no longer contains any risk, and not only that, its stat buffs are better too. Well, let's get our food up as far as we can. Now we also got new blueprints to make, the thruster and its fuel, and they have their own category in the build options called flight. Sadly we can't build the engines as we're still short on materials and we harvest everything nearby, and this is where we have to rely on the winds of luck to blow some trash our way. You probably have already seen these in the background, these dust balls floating around. As we zap some, you'll notice there's two kinds in this area. One that gives metal, that's the spiky one, and a softer looking ball one that just gives synthetic material. Let's get a whole bunch and get that thruster made with some fuel. The tool here is really smart. Longer distance targets auto-lock your view once you start reclaiming the material, but closer ones rely on your mouse movements alone. It's a good compromise that doesn't penalise you for not being good with a controller or mouse. The thruster can be placed pretty much anywhere on the bottom part of the airship, but I like to stick it in the middle at the back. A few taps of the E button will get it refueled, and we are now ready to go into the more open part of the game. But this openness is unfortunately limited by this 20-minute timer. We have 20 minutes to explore the reaches of this vast game, and we're not going to get very far because this ship is pretty damn slow. But it does feel weighty because of that. The turning, everything just feels like how I would imagine an airship would feel like. As we fly around, we also can feel the effects of the wind depending on which way we're going. If you have wind coming in from the side, you'll slowly drift. If you're facing a headwind, you'll be slower. If you've got a tailwind, you'll get a little bit of a speed boost. And that's a nice touch. In the background here we can see blinking red lights. These are the POIs we need to head to. The great thing about this is you can just make sure you're at max speed, hit the R button to lock the controls, step away from them and go jump on our reclaimer tool. This will let us shoot some of the debris down as well as parts of the old buildings that can also be reclaimed. So all around us is reusable material, we just need to get it. But we are slowly getting a little bit more tired, so I would recommend also getting a bed just to give you a little bit of boost in energy. This bed does seem kind of comically small though for some reason. Be aware however, when you sleep, while your energy levels do rise, you are still consuming food and drink meters, so it's definitely a trade-off. Thankfully, the devs have thought ahead here and let you wake up whenever you want as the time goes by. As you can see after that nap, it is now night time. Very different look and feel to everything. Very cool. We're starting to see like these weird swarms of creatures. Everything is a little bit different now. But all these POIs will have like these big flat areas on them, which makes them quite easy for landing on. And you can just hold control to go down. And you see kind of a little anchor, and that means you're staying there. Lovely jubbly, which means we can walk right off. Start looking around. We've got some more food here maybe? Not this one. Let's keep looking around. Maybe there'll be some down here. We've got some more water here that we can grab. We've got more debris. More water again. Doesn't look like there's any food on this one. But let's there we go. There's something over this way. Is this one food? No food. Yeah, there's something over there what we've got to get to, so I think we're going to get back up to get to it. Let's go this way. Oh, I don't even know how you get back from this one. Oh, there we go. There is a ladder. So, oh, we can drop down here. There we go. We found some more food. We can cook that up. We've got a little thing in here. We can look for extra items. There's all sorts you can find these desks. See, look, we've got another thing there. We've got a turbine now that we can make. And that is one of the key ingredients you need to be able to rise fully above this top toxic smog. Because right now we are quite limited in the height that we can fly, and that's a bad thing. We need to get fully out of this area. Oh, another card here. Now we can make a desk. Any more in this one? Another can of water. Let's get back to the ship, find the ladder. Our food is getting really low once again. This is a constant effect that you have to look out for when playing this game. So we'll cook that up. Another thing you may have noticed there is this was not the food I had. This food is now rotten. It will damage your health if you eat it, but it will still give you food and water if you're in a pinch. And I know what you're thinking. Can we cook this? Well, the answer is yes, we can. So we'll give that a little cook and we'll compare all 4 different foods. So we had rotten food that went in and we got overcooked meal out. Now the main difference between that is a reduction in the food and water. Well, no, water stays the same and you don't get the health benefits of eating a well-cooked meal. But you still do get some benefits, so you can avoid losing the health, which is very good. But I do need that food bonus, so we'll get that going. While we do that, this new item here, we've got the desk, we've got a small storage box we can make now, and we've also got the turbine, which needs another one of those solid state batteries, as well as more metal. So we're gonna have a little look up here, because that's what we learnt at the starter little kind of island, I'm going to call them. And if this thing has a solid state battery, all we then need to do is find some more metal and we'll be able to make that new device. So let's check in here. Lovely. Another solid state battery. We'll get down this ladder and head back to our airship. Oh, without falling off. That could have been dangerous. Right, so now to get some extra metal, I am going to have to look out for these spiky ones. 30, that should be enough actually. You get yourself a turbine. Now these obviously do take longer to build up, and what you might have noticed, and I'll have to show it in the menu when it comes back, is that these different items all have weight. They have mass, and we have a mass limit on our ship. So we'll see that when we go to add it back on. I'd definitely be interested on whether this mass limits or how much mass is currently on your ship dynamically changes your max speed with the thrusters that you've got. I've already tested, and adding more thrusters does equal more speed, although not for turning as far as I could tell. Within the limited time of this demo, you are quite limited how many resources you can actually get out of the game to put onto your ship. And these are very, very big. We saw these in the trailer get damaged by lightning. They are really, really cool looking. They had like that goop gun that could repair it after a lightning strike. But let's see, once I get back on here, if we fly now, we auto take off so we don't bash into anything, but we can now go a bit higher. Previously we were limited to 230, but we can take it up. We can take it up, and well out of the fog. Now while we have rain, it's normally nice blue skies, so I'll have to maybe play through again and quickly show you guys that, because it does look cool. Once you're out of the fog here, you can much easier see the orange structures, and you can harvest these for metal. And when you get on the gun, on this tool here, it does show, and you just need to find the right area to target it if we're close enough. Maybe this one? No, I think they're all out of range. Oh, there we go. And boop. So you can harvest these materials from the buildings. Oh, wow. Okay, this is the first time I've seen a building fully collapse. That was awesome. This demo just keeps surprising me at every turn. These weather effects just look awesome. They look realistic. You've got the stuff blowing about faster. It's just great. So yeah, you hold on 2 ticks and I'll get you what it looks like with a nice blue sky. There we go, just look at that nice blue sky, there's clouds. You can really see the fog here. So there's the shadow of an airship there. Stuff's blowing about a bit more calmly now. These buildings are huge. I do want to know if we can get to the top of these or if you have to climb your way up from like a lower area here. It does look really, really cool. And then of course you've got expanding your airship. There's a whole building system to expand your airship, which we've also seen in the trailers. You can just add sections on the edges of these. So that'll be really, really cool. And hopefully once they've expanded that just a little bit more, I can make a whole video about it to show you guys as well. And we can really see how far we can maybe take one of these. But that will be for a later date. Either way, do check out the Steam page, chuck it on your wish list if it's not already. I've also included a link to the official Discord below, as well as my own, if you'd like to join either of those. But give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Kenator, out.